Alright guys, episode 15, the monster I married. Let's go. So when my husband accuses me, let me back up a little bit, sorry. There was one conversation, again, this is how I know it was all performative. We had one conversation before he accused me of lying, where he said something like, I'm paraphrasing, "Why do you think I'm so upset? Why do you think that I'm having unaliving thoughts?" Because the idea of something happening to you. Really? You're so devastated for your wife, you're so devastated that you not only have ignored her for months and the kids and everything else, but you've actually now started to actively treat her like garbage. We're not just ignoring anymore. Like, he's literally going out of his way to treat me badly. But he was like so beside himself, and that's why he was struggling with his mental health. Or one of the reasons. So then he accuses me outright of lying. I never got to the bottom of that. I never understood, or he never explained what the thought process was. Again, though, I come to find out that every accusation is a confession, and he believes that everyone is as morally bankrupt as he is. So I remember bringing this up in therapy. It had to have happened obviously before, maybe it was like next to our last session, because I remember bringing it up, and I went in there and I was livid and hysterical. I mean, I was like, this man literally accused me. I was beside myself because I'm thinking, is that why he's been acting this way for the past couple months? Because he thinks I'm lying? And I'm so confused, because we went from, I knew you weren't going to die because I had faith and I was praying and whatever, to you were faking it. Also, you obviously weren't, according to you, you were having unaliving thoughts and were so depressed at the thought of something happening to your wife. But now you're telling me that you thought that I've been lying to you this whole time. So I'm super confused. Like, what story are we going with? It can't be both. So I remember telling our therapist, and I was like, oh my God. And he immediately tried to backpedal and was like, that's not what I said. And I was like, no, I'm not having none of that. This is exactly what you said to me. This is exactly what you meant. We're not going around in circles about, I didn't understand what you were trying to say or whatever. I understand what you were saying. So, once again, our therapist is like, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that your spouse, right? So, unacceptable. He did try, I remember, he did try to say, Rachel, maybe it's easier for him. Because I was like, this is the ultimate betrayal. I have no idea that that's not true. But this is the ultimate betrayal, that he would accuse me of lying about anything to this extent, right? And he was like, well, some people can't cope, right? It might have been easier for him to make this up in his head. Now, do I find out that my husband makes up a lot of shit in his head? Yeah, I do. This wasn't one of them. So, therapy ends, and we've now come to the tipping point. You've accused me of lying about everything for the past couple of months. Also, keep in mind, he said, I don't need therapy. Not going to therapy, don't want it, don't need it, not doing it. Keep that in mind. So, this is May. And kid number 1 is graduating the first week of June. I've put together everything goings of family and friends, the graduation party, all of those things, mama. So I remember saying, like, my last-ditch effort of, do you want to be involved in literally anything? There are a handful of, finishing touches for the party. Things I need to get, things I need to do. Do you want to be a part of that? He had been out for several weekends getting a tattoo, big tattoo. Hilariously, he ended up getting Anubis. If anyone knows that your girl's dream, and how obsessed I've been with that my whole life, like the fact that he would leave this marriage with a tattoo that's only ever going to remind him of me. Like, the only reason he even knew anything about that was because of me. But he's been like, oh, I can't miss this tattoo appointment, can't miss this tattoo appointment. So again, let's go back to any and everything else in the world is more important than what's going on at home. So I remember graduation is approaching. Again, canceled marriage counseling, all of that. At this point, my own therapist is like, girl, you need to wake up. Like, it's time for you to wake up. And it was happening over the past few months. The awakening was slowly happening. The one thing that will give me the biggest ick in the world, and the one thing that I will never forgive anyone for ever, is when they purposefully disappoint my boys. When they go out of their way, even if they don't go out of their way, but especially if they do, go out of their way to hurt my children in any way, shape, or form, you are dead to me. That's it. So he, has been like, and honestly, as horrible as it sounds, had things not played out exactly the way that they did, and him not have treated them that way, treated me actively, went out of his way to like be the way he was with me, I don't know, I probably would have been heartbroken. And like, he showed me that I never knew who he was, ever, ever, ever. And that helped me. I would probably, if I honest to God thought that I had lost a true partner, a real man, a real spouse, a real father, all of those things, I would probably still be laid up in the bed a year later, right? When you've been with someone for that long, anyway, if I still had those delusions that he was any type of what I thought he was, then I wouldn't be upright. So anyway, graduation is fast approaching. This is when I start trying to have the conversations of, okay, because he said, I'm not going back to marriage therapy and I want a divorce. And I said, okay, let's talk about how we're going to do this. The first thing that first idea I had, as I've already said in the beginning, was to get a studio apartment so I could go to school, finish school the same time that son number 2 would be finishing school, and go on about my way. He go on about, like, I was under the impression that he would help me get these kids to the finish line. Go to the next part.